Drive home with Maggie and Perloff. Afternoons 3 to 6 on WSKO Syracuse, a Cumulus media station. The voice of the Central New York sports fan, The Score, 1260. Welcome to your home for local sports in Syracuse. Outside the Box Score with Mark Rowlands starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. We've got a really fun show for you today. The unofficial co-host of Outside the Box Score is back, Josh Boehme. Hey, he's back. Guest free today, so we're going to have open phone lines the entirety of the show, 315-671-1260 if you want to chime in. That's 315-671-1260. And it's going to be a really interesting show today because we've got the two of us, obviously, which is always fun. As I finally send out the link to the show being live, I probably should have done that an hour ago, maybe.
Everybody likes a long intro. Mark.
Everybody likes a long intro. But it's going to be a fun show because I've got something fun to talk about right off the top here. And that is, and as Jim says, what's going on in the chat? Hey, Jim.
Hey.
That is the retirement, and this is kind of breaking news. I found this out personally from a guest we had on the show a few weeks ago, Teddy Clam, the head coach of West Hill High School baseball, that my old coach, my old coach, he was the head coach for Syracuse varsity baseball, 27 years at the job, Mike Miola, is retiring. Deciding to hang him up. He's a volunteer assistant at LeMoyne. He coaches high school football. Everything.
Good for coach.
The guy is an absolute legend. Like I said, 27 years coaching high school baseball here in this area. And just found out earlier this week that he's hanging him up. And we were talking before the show started. I said I would tell the story on air again. I've told it once or twice. And you'll only ever hear me call him Coach Miola.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a very specific reason for that. And when I started playing varsity baseball, I was a junior.
Okay.
But one of my close friends who's been on this show before, Pat Burke.
Yeah, love Pat.
Love Pat. Pat made varsity as a freshman. Pat was a much better baseball player than I was. Pat was good.
Okay.
And so he was on varsity as a freshman, and it was just Bob Southworth. It was still Syracuse East and West.
Yep.
And Bob Southworth, Perino, that whole group, who also has been on the show before, they were the coaches.
Okay.
Then our sophomore year of high school, the schools combined, the entire Syracuse City School District combined.
For baseball?
For baseball. And
not a lot of kids? Or
no.
Okay.
We still had like 16 kids on the team.
Wow.
With 5 schools.
And your schools are packed?
Yes. Large schools.
Okay.
And so they combined, and so Bob Southworth was still the main head coach, but the new co-head coach was Coach Mike Miola. And so there's this new guy in town. He's coaching with Southie. It's a whole thing, the East kids know him. The West kids have no idea who he is. And even though he was co-head coach, it basically was running the show.
It's the last year.
We all knew Southie was retiring. It was like
it was a send-off.
Yeah, it was a send-off, essentially. And so Coach Miola takes over. And Pat tells me, he's like, yeah, we got this, there's a new guy coaching. His name's Coach Miola. And he goes, when you're on varsity next year, do not call him anything else. I'm like, what? He goes, don't call him Miola. Don't just call him coach. Call him Coach Miola. I'm like, okay.
It's an odd, it's not detail.
I will, happily, but
sure.
Just I've never, usually, like I said, I've had Bob Perino on the show before. He was just Perino, or sometimes, it's Skip, Coach, whatever. It's just Coach Miola. Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Sure.
And he was like, if you don't, there's consequences. I'm like, okay, I'll just
Understood.
Yeah, understood. So the next year comes around, and I make the varsity team, and call him Coach Miola, like I've been instructed to do. And he goes, listen, I'm Coach Miola. Like, he said this to the team. Because you call me Coach Miola. You don't just call me Miola. You don't call me Mike. Like, dude,
all right.
which I never was one to call a coach by their first name anyway.
That's an odd thing.
Yeah,
I get the respect thing with coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
But which that's weird if you're in high school and you're calling your coach by their first name.
Or a teacher or anything.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Last
Kind
name
of
strange.
I've heard a last name.
I had a couple of teachers that we would call by their first name.
That's right.
Yeah, just because it was a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It was a bit. Shout out Donna Delmonico.
Hey, Big D.
Donna D. Donna D is what we called her. And she was great. She was my high school English teacher. But anyway, love Donna D. But back to coach. Well, this freshman comes up on the varsity team, and he has not been properly prepped on how to address Coach Miola. And I'm not going to say the name of the kid. And so he says, hey, Miola. And Coach Miola goes, what'd you call me? He said, Miola, that's your name, right? He goes, you're new. You didn't hear my spiel, at the start of the season, because this was like 2 weeks into the season.
Okay.
When this kid comes up from JV. And so he's like, it's Coach Miola. You refer to me as Coach Miola, not just Miola.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes later.
Same kid.
Hey, Miola.
Is he being a jerk or he?
No,
hard to tell.
Yeah, it wasn't the brightest bulb.
Gotcha.
And says, hey, Miola. And Coach Miola looks at me. He's like, hey, drop your glove. You're running. And we had practice. It was outside, but the weather was bad. And so we were on the football field at Henniger High School. We weren't on a baseball field because we couldn't get on actual, on actual dirt, but they had artificial turf. So we were, we can play on turf. It was just not grass weather.
Yeah.
And so we're playing on the turf football field. And so he didn't have to run laps around a baseball field. He had to run laps around a football field.
Oh.
For the rest of practice.
Oh. The whole practice? He's running?
This was about a half an hour into practice that this happened.
He had another hour? Easy?
And a half. We had 2-hour practices.
He was serious about it. How many times did that kid go, am I done yet, coach?
An hour and a half. And he asked once, I think.
Yeah.
And Coach Miola said, you're done when I say you're done.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Hour and a half around the football field at Henniger.
That's old school. I kind of like it.
No, that's what, a quarter mile around the football field? Yeah, just about. This kid has never been in better shape than after that practice. Let me tell you.
Sure.
The cardio is. He did get he would get like a water break and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, but you had to go back and you weren't done. You just could take a sip of water and keep it up. And
that's why.
After practice, we've got all sorts of equipment out.
Sure.
Bats, bases, all this stuff. We start picking it up, and Coach Miola goes, no.
It's all him.
It's all him.
On top of running all practice, he's got to bring in all the equipment.
Yep. This kid
quit the next day.
No.
Oh, okay. Good
no.
for him.
Props to him. Stuck with it. Played 4 years of varsity baseball under Coach Miola.
What a kid.
But this kid never even came close to making that mistake again. And none of us did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you hear something like that, it's like a horror story.
Yeah. None of us, we saw that because, and Pat was like, told you there were consequences. I was like, I didn't know it was that. Jesus. And here's the thing. And we talked about this when I interviewed him on this show.
Yeah.
And I have zero problem with that. Because if you are the head coach of any sports team, you are a man that commands respect.
Sure.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't care
at
if
any level.
It's Little League baseball. I don't care if you manage the New York Mets. You are a man that commands respect.
Yeah.
And especially if you're coaching kids. which is, we're teenagers. We're kids.
And that's almost the exact age where you're expecting the act ups. I mean,
exactly.
In Little League, when they do it, it's like, they're children, whatever. They're gonna see a fly and they're gonna go pick it in the outfield, whatever. But like, these are kids. I'm sure he's seen a lot of kids who would call him coach, whatever. And he does this as a making a statement type thing.
Yeah.
And so, maybe you guys didn't need that example set, but you got it and you understood it, and it made a difference. And he was Coach Miola, and you have that Miola.
Yeah, Miola.
I gotcha. I get it. I get it too. I'm very much old school coaching when it comes to that. I'm okay with it. I could see, especially now, some people being like, "Oh my God, you made my kid run all practice." Also, we're playing sports. That could just be practice.
It's sports. The amount of practices we had that were just conditioning.
That's great.
We would have those inside. We'd be inside the Henniger High School gym or the Corcoran gym, depending on whatever gym we were in that day. And sometimes it was just like, I remember one day it was a practice after a game. We had an atrocious game the day before.
Yep.
I mean, we lost like 15-0. We made like 4 errors. I think every player struck out at least once.
Yep.
Like, it was, and granted, I forget who we were playing, but I remember the pitcher being nasty. Like a college type pitcher.
Sure.
But still just lack of a better, piss poor effort by my team.
Yep.
And so the next day was conditioning.
Yep.
We ran gassers for like 45 minutes or
sprints.
Sprints. I try not to use the term suicides, but that's what people, people likely would know them as, line back, next line back, next line back,
again,
last line back.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then it was gassers, 20 push-ups, gassers, 20 sit-ups, like it was just a whole practice of that. And that's just what practice was sometimes. It wasn't even like, was it a quote-unquote punishment because we played a bad game?
Kinda,
yes.
Yeah.
But you have conditioning practices sometimes.
As an athlete, though, I'd respect that more out of a coach, to kind of expect something out of us. And like, this is like you said, our punishment for not competing as well. I played 4 years of varsity tennis.
Yeah.
And my coach, I use that term loosely, I liked him. He's a fun guy. Terrible coach.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking about conditioning in baseball, where like you run a little bit. Tennis is like,
it's all
imagine you got to condition a lot. Hardly conditioned. I'm a big guy.
You're not a small man.
The conditionings. I mean, conditioning would be like 2 to 5 laps around the courts. There's 8 courts. Right? I mean, it's nothing. And at the beginning of a practice, you just run around them twice and then you're good. And I'm like, oh, this is easy as cake. And then like, just the things he does, like, this is where even as a young guy, you can determine what good coaching is.
Yeah.
And you respect him more. I liked him. But when we were left in his room before practice or whatever, we're throwing things around and you know, roughhousing, because coach is just a fun
wrestling.
Guy.
Yeah,
we're wrestling. We're a couple of guys.
Yeah,
there,
guys being dudes.
Exactly. But I mean, even as a young adult, you can understand that. And like, he was fun, nice guy, love him, great.
Yeah.
Not a good coach.
Yeah,
just a bad coach.
And it's funny because these stories I'm telling sound like they're horror stories.
Yeah,
love it.
Right.
Absolutely love that he did stuff like that. And he was, and there's a reason he coached for so long. It's because he's a damn good coach. Just plain and simple, he's a really good baseball coach. And his son, Mike Miola Jr., I believe played pro ball.
Okay.
If not, he played high-level college baseball. They're both assistants of LeMoyne now.
Gotcha.
I believe Mike's a paid assistant and Coach Miola is a volunteer assistant. But both assistants of LeMoyne. I know Mike was at Brockport for a little while as well, so he's moving up.
Sure.
And now they're going to be Division I baseball coaches. So
just had coach on.
Just had Coach Cassidy on last week, and they're going to be at the D1 level now. And you don't get there by accident. I don't care what you say. What you can say about guys currently managing even in like the major leagues. Like, I don't think Aaron Boone's a very good manager. He's a great manager compared to most high school baseball coaches. Like, there's a level to everything. And Coach Miola has always been a great coach. And just, it's such a cliche to say something like this. Great coach, even better man. Coach Miola is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He's so kind. He's so caring. when I had him, he came in studio, and we were talking, before the interview, and he just the nicest, kindest words. Mark, I'm so happy to see you doing this. You always had a gift for stuff like this. You always, and just was so nice. And I still would run through a brick wall for that guy. There are certain coaches you have in your life, and I've been lucky. I've never really had many bad coaches. Like summer league baseball, I had a couple, playing RBI, which I love RBI, and I recommend that anyone who plays baseball around here, especially if you're an inner city kid like I am, play RBI baseball because it's fantastic. It's so much fun and all this stuff. But RBI coaches weren't coaches.
Sure.
And
their parents probably.
Yeah, it was, someone's parent, or, they're a high school coach, like they're like a JV coach in, just looking for a little extra, coaching in the summer, and, if a few of their players are going to be on the team. So I had some not great, not super official coaches. But I've been very lucky to say that for the most part, I've had nothing but really good coaches.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone who has a good coach has those stories. Like you told from Coach Mule, like guys who put you through the ringer and you come out better for it.
Yeah.
I've also had the thing you're talking about with your RBI. Like I just played Little League until I was 15. Like I played the upper divisions of Little League.
Babe Ruth.
No, I wasn't good enough to go like house and stuff and play like that. I just played straight Little League.
Oh, okay.
In like what they called their majors. And so it's basically like 15U. Or
oh, okay. Yeah,
and so like I played that. Like Austin and them were doing travel teams and this and that. Bombers was another thing that they did. But I didn't even do those. But I had the same coach in Little League for probably 6-7 years. Still to this day, he is coach. And he's just a guy. He was a parent of someone else on team. But when you're at practice, he asked a certain thing of you. He was totally cool, fun vibe like the other coach. But just the way he ran things, it was more professional. And as a 12-year-old, you picked up on it. You're like, oh, this is coach.
Yeah.
And so he is coach until the day, which is hilarious because he's not a coach. Like he laughs at me when I say it. I'm like, oh, how you doing, coach? He's like, Josh, what's up, man? Like, it's not a thing to him, but to me, I'm like, that's my coach. That's who it is.
Yeah, I usually call people coach for us. If you were my coach for a month, I'll probably still call you coach.
I met Scott Cassie last week for the first time.
We called him coach.
Yeah, and then he left, and he's coach. Nice to meet you, coach. Like I don't know. I wouldn't call him Scott. Not call him Scott or Mr. Cassidy. He sounds weird. He's a coach. I don't know.
We're at the point in our lives where calling, if you meet someone for the first time and calling them Mr. or Mrs. Blank, we are adults, which is weird to think. So it's it doesn't matter how much younger we might be. It's still
I still have, to me, it's still a respect kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like my dad has certain friends who will talk around, like he'll address them and be like, oh, Mr. Rowlands, hello, nice to meet you. I'm like, or nice to see you again, Mr. This. So I'm always kind of in the Mr. game.
I do it a lot.
It's weird though. Yeah, you're right. It is an odd thing. I'm 25 now. I don't have to Mr. people. I'm soon going to be a Mr.
It's so funny, working at Jim asked if someone was never your coach, do you call him coach? Yeah. I do.
I think so.
We were just talking about Scott Cassidy, but it's funny, I work at Bellevue Country Club, and we address the members as Mr. and Mrs. And it's getting to the point where I'll just tell there's one guy there named Tony. I'm not gonna say his last name, but I would always call him Mr. Blank. And Tony's there constantly. He's there all the time.
He's using that membership up.
Yeah, he's
getting the full.
Plays maybe one round a week.
Okay.
One or
he
two.
Uses the amenities.
No, it's the range. Really? He lives on the driving range. Okay. The short range, the putting green. He's there all the time.
Okay.
And I work 30 to 35 hours a week there, so I'm there. I see him there constantly.
Sure.
And it got to the point where I said, "Mister," and he walks up to me. He's like, "Mark, you're a professional. I'm a professional. You're an adult. I'm an adult. I see you more than I see my wife. Call me Tony."
That's great.
And so, there are some that they're like, "Yeah, dude, you're graduated from college. You have a career. You don't have to call me Mr. or Mrs."
Those are the nice ones. I'm sure there's plenty that do like the I am Mr.
Oh yeah.
Johnson.
Oh,
yes.
there are some. Yeah, there's some
me, young man.
You call him Mister, and they say it's Doctor. It's like
it's like Caddyshack. It's totally like
it's with Judge Smales and it. I mean, there are some of those.
Bellevue.
Yeah.
The people here.
I wish we had a Judge Smales there, like someone who's just so over the top, and we've got a couple that are close, but I wish there was a Judge Smales there because that'd be funny.
Yeah, that's why I want Burb and my buddy and me to kind of join that other like low level country club, and I would just do that.
I'd be that guy.
I'd be like, thank you very much.
It says Mr. Boehme.
Here's a little tip for your change, giving out singles.
Yeah,
like here you go, pal. Thanks.
Yeah, Thanks. Like when Smales gives Danny the tip and it's a quarter, or it's 50 cents. I think he throws the two quarters on the table. Yeah, here's a little something for the effort. It's 2 quarters.
It's a Coke. You bought him a Coke.
Yeah, essentially. But I wanted to talk about Coach Miola for a bit because that guy is I've said it to him. I think I said it to him over text when I congratulated him on retiring, and wouldn't be half the man I am today without the teachings he gave me. And it was just I only played varsity baseball for 1 year. I wasn't on
just your junior year?
Just my junior year. I didn't play my senior year.
Did you get canned?
No.
Did Coach have a talk with you?
No. He was.
Coach made me the man I am by kicking me off the squad.
No, I was in a band at the time and just wanted to focus on that more. And I was not good at baseball. I've never claimed to be a good baseball player.
Same here.
But he's the guy that taught me to keep book, and now I do the marquee scorebooks thing, and like I love keeping book. I do it all the time, and he really I've always loved baseball, but playing under a guy like him really made me appreciate the game even more. And I wish him nothing but the best in retirement. And Coach, if you're out there listening, congratulations. You're going to do great things. You always have done great things. Wish you the best of luck in whatever your endeavors are going to be moving forward. We've got to take a timeout. We went a lot longer on that than I thought we were going to. It was for Coach Miola. So we're going to take a timeout. Be right back here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260.
Hi, I'm Tanya Anderson, CEO at Arise. More than 50 artists from all over Central New York submitted their work to be a part of the Arise 2023 Unique Art and Literary Magazine.
So I've been rewatching the Attitude
I
made my girlfriend watch it. I made Emily watch it last night with
me.
And
everyone can experience these artists' creative expressions at the Everson Museum of Art.
Of course, is when they just screw Bret Hart. She's like, wait, why'd the match end? And I go, right. And I rewinded and I go, did he tap? And she goes, no, he didn't tap out. They said he tapped.
They screwed him. The screw job.
And she's like, what? And so I'm listening to all this old like commentator stuff too. And like Lawler has a bit at one point. He's like, you're so old. When you were born, the Dead Sea was just sick. And I was like, that is one of the greatest lines.
What an insult.
Oh yeah. Sound is on. It is on during the commercials. That's intentional.
Yes. Yeah. I did forget I had to turn down the commercials. I just turned them down. There you go, Jim. St. Pat's Irish Fest is in 2 weeks. That's right. Hell yeah.
St. Pat's Irish.
Yeah.
It's July.
Yeah.
You have a St. Patty's Day in July?
No, it's one of 2 Irish festivals we have in Syracuse.
Like
one's in July, one's in September.
And then March, so you spread it out 3 times a year.
Yeah.
You guys
St. Pat's Irish Fest, literally just the parking lot of a church. Yeah, it's at St. Pat's Church, and it's just a bunch of people getting drunk and gambling in the parking lot of a church. They have blackjack tables. It's fantastic.
You got full-on tables?
Yeah, I mean, you play for, it's a $1 bet.
Yeah. Where'd you see Dave Matthews at Coleman's?
Coleman's, yeah.
So they have an outdoor thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's where Green Beer Sunday, that's all outside.
Do we drive by it when we've gone to Steve's after this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to grab a drink after this?
Yeah, I got time.
All right.
But last week. I was like,
yeah,
a ride home. You take a ride. I'm like, okay. Your dad's probably like, is Josh going? Where's he going?
Yeah,
you got a ride.
I was not going to drive that day. We had like.
Don't say it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good for one.
Yeah.
2. Some lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I got cash. They had an ATM there.
Yeah, cash. I'll buy you one.
I thought I had cash. So the other day, we're trying out all these new places. Like her friends talk about places in Rome, and now my dad just sent me a text, said one.
In Drivers Village.
Do you want a career, not just a job? Want to work for a family-owned company that values customer service, career growth opportunities, training, and work-life balance? VP Supply is one of the country's largest plumbing, lighting, kitchen, bath, HVAC, and electrical distributors with 15 locations across upstate New York and Pennsylvania. VP is looking for innovative, enthusiastic, and ambitious team players in Syracuse. Unleash your potential with VP Supply. Find out more at vpsupply.com/careers. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Big week in sports. It is. Because not necessarily Syracuse area sports, but just big week in sports in general. NBA free agency just opened up.
Did it?
Did it ever? Did it ever is right. I mean, these guys are getting.
Bruce Brown's getting $25 million a year. 22.
Is he really?
He signed a 2-year, $45 million contract with the Pacers, I think.
PU.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's not bad, but he doesn't. He's not
$23 million. He's a role player.
Yeah,
but he's at best, he's the 8th best player on your team.
Yeah, exactly.
He's getting paid $22 million a year.
Ridiculous.
He's gonna start for the Pacers, probably.
Oh yeah, probably. But what I wanted to talk about was 2 big signings for Syracuse alum.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw this, but my Boston Celtics signed O'Shea Brissett, if you remember him, the forward.
Yes.
I haven't seen a number on that yet, but it's a 2-year deal.
Okay.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. I love when there's an SU guy, even tangentially related to this. Celtics drafted Fab Melo, love seeing that. But the shout out Pat Burke on Twitter. He just said my 2 favorite members of Syracuse Sports Talk Radio, talking about the tweet I sent out. But yeah, so O'Shea Brissett now going to be on the Boston Celtics. I've been looking for, how much money he's going to be making, but I haven't seen that number yet. Averaged, 9 points a game a couple years ago for the Pacers. He's just going to be a bench guy, role player. But hey, 2-year guaranteed deal is pretty, that's pretty good for a guy that went undrafted out of SU.
He could get some good minutes. I mean, Grant Williams is in talks to maybe get dealt, and some other guy. Robert Williams is never really healthy. I mean, he could have some good minutes. Al Horford's only getting older. Somehow that guy turns it around in the playoffs, but he's probably 53 now? 54?
68, I think.
He's a young 61.
He looks
spry.
He looks great for 64.
Yeah.
It's actually a second year is a player option for O'Shea Brissett, according to Woj. So it's just a 1 year, and it seems it's going to be a minimum salary. So hey, minimum is. I don't even know what the minimum is. It's
probably like
in the
$600,000.
Yeah, but
well, right.
I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Oh darn.
But the big money for Syracuse guy is Jeremy Grant.
I saw that with
Portland re-signed Jeremy Grant, 5-year deal, $160 million for Jeremy, and
it's kind of a steal.
He's good, man.
He's really good.
He averaged 20 last year. He's averaged 20 the last 3 years, I think, topping out at 22 a few years ago, and he's just solid.
To put it in perspective for why that money is so much of a steal in my mind, Tyrese Halliburton also got his 5-year max for his year for $260 million.
Yeah.
So for 130 more million or
110
more million,
100 million. Yeah.
They're signing Halliburton, who's better than Grant.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Is he
100 million better than Jeremy Grant? No.
I
would argue there probably aren't too many players that are $100 million better than Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
But Grant, obviously, we around here know him well. It's funny. I actually, when I was in Cooperstown a couple weeks ago, I actually picked up. I found a Jeremy Grant autograph card and picked that up. Yeah, so just saw it at a store and picked that. It was $15, I think.
Nice.
Because I like getting stuff for SU guys, especially when they've had as much success as Grant has had, in recent years. And I don't believe he made the All-Star team last season, but he was close. I remember he
got injured for a little bit there, so lack of games hurt him there.
For players with 1 or more years of NBA tenure can earn anywhere from 1.6 to 3 million
on the NBA
minimum. Yeah. So, wow, O'Shea's, that's still a pretty penny, man. That's still a pretty penny.
And it's guaranteed, fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, guaranteed.
Take it.
But Grant averaged 20.5 points last year, 40% from three, 47.5 from the field. I remember when he was at SU, that was the worry, was the 3-point shot. He was a good shooter, but he wasn't a great shooter. He's really developed the 3-point game, and all he's done is get better since he's been in the NBA. And I loved him at Syracuse. I knew he was going to be good. I knew he was going to be an NBA player, but he's even better than I thought he was going to be. He has really turned himself into one of the, close to the top level of wings in the NBA. He was one of the better ones available this offseason on the free agent market. And the free agent market is a little down this year in the NBA, but
I'd say after Draymond Green, he was the top power forward prospect out there.
Yeah.
Or free agent out there.
Yeah. And honestly, right now, I'd rather have Jeremy Grant on my team than Draymond Green. But
so, yeah. So would I.
I can't believe he got another $25 million a year contract. Dude, 4 for 100 for that guy.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know how it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he left. It was a player option for 33, right?
Yeah.
And he left, and I was like, who the hell is going to pay Draymond more than $33 million a year?
Yeah.
The only team that's going to want him is the Warriors, and why would they pay more?
I thought he was going to go to the Lakers, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Just squash the beef with LeBron and go.
He doesn't have beef with LeBron.
Does LeBron have beef with him?
No. That's the thing, is Draymond adores LeBron. All he does is talk about how great LeBron is. It's really strange for two people that should be competitors
that just love each other.
You play in the same conference. Draymond Green is obsessed with LeBron James. All he does is talk about how good he is.
The Lakers have been really good, though, adding a lot of pieces.
Yeah,
they need Draymond. Jackson Hayes just signed today.
Yep.
The kid from New Orleans is really good. They got Hachimura back.
Yep.
Vanderbilt back. And
I saw they added a couple more. I'm gonna get the ESPN free agency tracker up here because I saw the Lakers were adding quite a few pieces.
Kind of one of the sneakiest teams adding currently.
Yeah. So Jackson Hayes. God, the Grizzlies gave Desmond Bane $207 million.
Another guy who's making more than Jeremy Grant, who I don't think I'd rather have Jeremy Grant.
Yeah,
they're different positions and whatever, but I think he's more impactful to my team than Desmond Bane.
Yeah, that's wow. Cam Reddish signed with the Lakers.
Yep.
And I like Cam Reddish. I think he gets a bad rap. I don't think he's great, but I think he can be a really solid role player. Oh, Gabe Vincent, that's the one I was thinking of. Signed with the Lakers.
Yes.
3 years, $33 million deal. The Heat are just, they're losing everybody. They lost Strus. He's going to Cleveland. Like these role players that were so good for them in the playoffs up until the finals, really. They're just all going elsewhere.
Lowry's a year older. He'll probably get sent to, I don't know what they do. I don't know if Butler just wants to be gone or him and Bam just try and do what they can.
Maybe they go out and try to get Dame. Like that's
But then they just lost all their pieces for Dame. Max Strus was going to be a part of that deal, right? I mean, you're trading Lowry for Dame now. You're going to have 10 first-round picks in the NBA for that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very strange. Go ahead.
Did you happen to see the big story this morning breaking that the EuroLeague MVP?
I did see
Sasha Viznikov.
Yeah,
signed with the Kings, the Upstart Kings, like the beam.
I really like the Kings, man.
They were so fun.
They were so much fun. De'Aaron Fox is one of the more fun guys to watch in the NBA.
Probably the most underrated NBA player.
Oh, for sure. No one cares about De'Aaron Fox, and that guy's dynamite.
A lot of years there. Sorry to cut you. A lot of years there. My roommate in college was a Kings fan, Joe, and so he would watch all the games at night. and I'd watch De'Aaron Fox and Slick Rick Rashawn Holmes down
Oh,
low.
yeah.
And I'd be like, wow, this team's fun. Even when they were bad, with just them and Harrison Barnes, they're just a fun team to watch. Now that they're winning, they're having a lot more talent on the team. Sabonis, they have a little bit of edge. Sabonis was like,
oh yeah,
playing beef ball
he gets
in the playoffs.
chippy. Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun team to watch.
They're really fun, and they re-signed Harrison Barnes as well, and he's been dynamite for them the past couple of years.
Another somehow is 29, and you're like, this guy's like 53, right? Like the ageless wonder, Harrison Barnes.
The one we were talking about, I was talking about this with Jim Lorch on the Manchild show. It was either yesterday or the day before. Andre Drummond is 29 years old.
He's been with 8 teams already, in my mind. He's averaged 20-20 for 4 of them. Yeah, I mean,
well, because the reason we were talking about is Andre Drummond actually has the highest total rebound percentage in NBA history. So percentage of your team's rebounds that go to you, he is the highest.
Well, that makes sense. Even on the teams that once he wasn't dominating. So that's actually funny because when he was a starter, he was averaging 20-20 probably and just dominating the boards. Or ish.
Most he ever averaged in a season was 16.
Okay. But then after that, he would go and he backed up in Philly or Brooklyn, and he was just the center on the 2 squad, and he would dunk over, scrubs.
He'd get boards. He'd get 9 rebounds in 16 minutes, and
that's great. Okay. What a fun stat.
It's a really fun. All he does is rebound, and I love it. He's ahead of Dennis Rodman and Dwight Howard, and the list of guys he's ahead of is hilarious.
He's got to be right there on the list of guys who could have tried maybe an ounce more and would be dominant superstars. Like if he had an Embiid level center,
if he had any level of offensive game,
true,
which he doesn't.
Dude just can't ball.
Yeah,
Dude can't score. Yeah.
He's not a scorer. But he would average, 16 a game or whatever.
Yeah,
he's just dunking on everybody.
He's just in a bad time.
Yeah,
now people expect centers to be able to go score like that.
Yeah,
which is weird because that wasn't the case.
No,
but if he was in the 2010s, if he had to be a Tyson Chandler,
we
were talking about Tyson Chandler.
We were talking about Tyson
defensive center. Who averaged 10 points a game. He'd be great. He'd be a star.
Yeah,
that's when he started his career.
Yeah,
he was a great.
He was
player.
great. And if DeAndre Jordan played from 1998 to 2010,
nobody would know.
Lights out.
Oh, yeah.
Lights out. Probably got 3 rings. And it just.
You did say DeAndre Jordan there.
Or is even Andre Drummond.
It is Drummond, but funnier to think of if a super talented big free. He'd be like Wilt back then. Nobody would know what to do with this guy.
Yeah.
Throw me an alley-oop.
They're the same to me. DeAndre Jordan and Andre Drummond are the same player. I always get them confused in my head.
They're both on the Clippers.
Yeah, they were both on the Clippers. Weren't they both on Philadelphia too? Weren't they on Philadelphia at the same time?
Maybe. I don't know if he was just last year.
Yeah.
Brooklyn at the same time.
Were they on Brooklyn at the same time? Yeah. So they've taken the same career trajectory from just being absolutely nuts to no one cares, but still in their minutes,
contracts.
Yeah, in their minutes, doing exactly what you need them to do. The NBA is weird, man.
It is.
The NBA is
and to
wild
get a guy
league.
like that, you probably got to give up a first-round pick.
No,
you don't think so? Monty Morris just went for a second, only 1 second, which is crazy. I feel like any trade goes wild.
Well,
but they throw him around like nothing.
Well,
depending on which team.
I don't understand NBA trade. What was the big one that just happened? The
sign and trade for Strus?
No. The
actual big one for Chris Paul. Chris Paul and Jordan Poole.
Was it
the Warriors trade Jordan Poole?
No, that's not the one I was thinking of. More interesting, NBA offseason or NBA regular season. This week is the most interesting week in the NBA. Hands down.
I don't get value in players in the NBA as much as I do in other teams. I think it's because it's easier to see. Like in football, guy gets over 30 years old and you're like, oh, his body's going to just instantly shut off. He can't play, especially on which position he plays.
Yeah.
Whereas in basketball, guys trade for Chris Paul as an asset. He's 36 or whatever, but I guess he could still ball for 4 years, maybe.
I can't believe I'm blanking on this.
The Bradley Beal one?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
The Bradley Beal trade.
I say both of the Suns.
Yeah, the Bradley Beal trade.
Okay.
There was 1 first-round pick involved in that.
Yep. But they gave up who? There was assets from the Suns that they gave up, right?
Yeah, but
sure, just role players.
No,
for the
yeah.
Suns,
Here's the deal. The Suns get Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, Isaiah Todd. Who cares about those two? Wizards get Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, multiple second-round picks in pick swaps.
Yeah, so Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and
That's for Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal's a great scorer.
Yeah, nothing else.
Never really done anything else.
No.
Can't play. I mean, the Suns, speak about roster construction, too, makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. You got 3 dominant ball handlers who want to bring up the ball. All 3 of them can. Yeah. And it's going to be what? Like, if they play all 3 of them, if all 3 of them start the game together, I don't even want to watch. I don't know how it'd work. Just ISO ball?
Yeah.
And they switch between each other?
I don't think the Suns are going to be. They're going to win a lot of regular season games. They're going to win like 62 games next year and lose in the first round.
Yep. They might have 3 30-point per game scorers. They really could.
They could.
KD, Booker, and Beal could all average 30.
Yeah.
And you're right. They'll win 60 games and lose in the first round.
Yeah. I don't think that experiment's going to work. But, like, where are the first-round picks on that? For Bradley Beal, there's no you can't tell me Chris Paul going to the Wizards, a team he was never going to play with, holds that much value.
Well, there was like 5 second rounds. They don't have any first because they got KD.
Well,
that's why they don't have any.
It's just
it makes no sense.
But
I don't get
trade value in the NBA. Yeah, and then Paul goes from the Wizards to the Warriors for Jordan Poole and a first.
Yep.
But do you know when that first round pick is?
No.
2030.
The Poole one?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize you could trade that far out. And I guess I'm just playing video games. They only give you a couple years out. But I didn't even realize that was a thing. Who wants that? What does that pick matter?
It doesn't.
Who the hell cares?
Yeah, that's a fake year. It's not a real year.
It doesn't affect me at all.
No.
A Warriors 2030 pick? Am I just hoping the dynasty is dead by then? That's Curry's last years before that, and they're tanking?
I'm just
silly.
I've got I'm just looking at this pick tracker, and so many, this trade tracker, and so many of them are just Celtics trading picks during the draft because they just kept trading back. They're like, we don't even want a first round.
We don't
pick.
want anybody. Who cares?
I don't know what Brad is cooking, but we'll see. We got to take another timeout. We are way overdue for a break. So you are listening to Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands. Phone lines are open, 315-671-1260 right here on The Score.
Syracuse Event Center is the place to be for live music. I'm talking rock, country, metal, jazz, polka. Well, maybe not polka. Might have lied about that one. All your favorite.
Yes, let's bring that up when we come back.
Gotcha.
Because I meant to do that today. So because I saw that earlier.
Okay.
Well, I didn't even see it earlier. I just know what day it is.
We talk the Mets, and I'll talk about get your opinion on which of the 3 teams with the highest payrolls is the biggest disappointment right now.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
I think that's a fun talk.
Yeah.
I think we disagree based on your thing. But yeah, I don't get it. Like picks, I think the NFL is just the easiest one to get. But even that sometimes, like the Jordan Howard trade, I think about all the time.
Yeah.
Nunez brings up. Guy rushed 3 straight years, 1,000 yards, got dealt for like a 5th or 6th round pick.
I think it was a 6th.
And it's like, I get it, I guess. Running backs, he ended up being probably worth a 6th round pick. Yes.
Yeah.
But like at the time, you're like, how the hell does that even make sense? You can trade Stephon Gilmore. The Cowboys just got him for a 5th. In my mind, I'm thinking that's a steal. He might suck next year.
Yeah,
now.
but
I don't know.
3 years ago, he's a 2nd.
Yep.
And it's like it makes no sense.
Yeah. I think it's easier to see guys like that too that come right up. There's not really a development process for the NFL. Like because they have to stay in college for so long, by the time they come up, they're league ready. Whereas like in the NBA, you draft a guy and it's like, he might make a difference this year, but realistically, he's probably going to sit for a little bit.
Yeah.
Baseball, Jesus Christ. You draft a guy
5 years.
It's crazy.
Jim says running backs age quickly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Running backs. I've said it multiple times. Running backs don't matter.
They're the easiest to see it in, right? Of any position, of any decline. Because quarterbacks, they're like fine wines. Some of them don't peak until 35.
Yeah.
Like look at, Russell Wilson had a bad year last year, but until that, he was kind of okay.
I think
and he peaked around.
I think of Tannehill.
Yeah.
Tannehill's like 34, and he's just as good as he's
after
ever been.
After his ACL year, that was the best year of his career. Right after that,
yeah.
He was a stud.
Sales professional. Find the independence that comes from creating unique advertising campaigns and help entrepreneurs boost their online presence. Go to thescore1260.com and click Cumulus Careers to apply. Cumulus Digital. Boost your career today.
we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, right here on the Score 1260, your home for local sports in Syracuse. I can't believe I've waited this long to say this. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, everybody. Woohoo! The
drinks on him.
Yeah, today, of course, if you don't know, when the Mets signed Bobby Bonilla back in the day, after he was a free agent coming from the Pittsburgh Pirates, they gave him the simultaneously best and worst contract in the history of professional sports.
I think he's probably the lowest guy on their payroll right now.
Yeah, probably. So he gets $1.19 million on July 1st every year until 2035. We have 12 more years of this. Bobby Bonilla has not played for the Mets. Let me get the old baseball reference page. Or wait, here's his Wikipedia. He has not played for the Mets since 1999. He signed that contract prior to 1992. He went back to the Mets in 99. But
so he was already on there. So for 7 years before that?
No, he was. Yeah, he signed with the Mets in 1992, played for them until 1995 when they traded him to Baltimore, who Baltimore also pays him like $500,000 a year. I don't get it.
He was always like, I'll just defer it.
Yeah.
You just give me a back
And
end.
so July 1st, every single year until 2035, he is making $1.2 million because of the Mets.
So he obviously doesn't take up a roster spot, right? He's just being paid as it.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. He could play.
Hypothetically, yes.
Let's bring out Bobby.
Let's give Bobby a game. He's
Let's
60 years old.
Well, you know, he probably never lose the fast. He never lose. It's like riding a bike, right?
It's like how Ken Griffey Jr. is like the 4th highest paid player on the Reds.
Yeah, he's making more though. He's making like $3.5 million this year or something.
Yeah,
that's just the Reds payroll being abysmal.
Yeah. Scherzer's getting paid by the Nationals until like 2040. Like guys just do that now.
Yeah, helps teams out.
Yeah, it helps teams, and like Scherzer played out almost his entire contract with the Nationals. He was traded in the last year of his deal.
Yep.
And yeah, they're still going to pay him forever. Same with Strasburg, that deal he signed. But it's so funny. It's so funny that the Mets have to pay this guy until 2035. I love it.
Yeah.
He's got to have the best 4th of July parties.
Oh my God! Just spending big check day.
Oh yeah,
big check day, July 1.
Yeah,
he looks right at his wife. He sends him the same number every day, every year. Probably sends him 1.19, baby.
Yep,
1.9. Like that.
He's got to have fantastic 4th of July parties. I want to go to a 4th of July party at Bobby Bonilla's house. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take another time out. We got to catch up still. More to come here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, right here on the Score 1260.
Hi, this is Kevin with Syracuse Haulers. Typically, I talk trash for a living, but today I'm going to talk about recycling.
And I go, Mark's not coming. He's like, why not? You didn't even ask him. I go, Mark has one of the best 4th of July parties of all time.
Yeah, you've been to my 4th of July party.
Yeah. I'm like, Mark's uncle throws the best 4th of July party I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, well, so he's not coming. I go, no.
I'm going over there tonight.
Well, that's what I was like.
Yeah.
To be honest, Junior, if he invites me, I might bail on you. And he goes, what?
You want to come? You're more than welcome.
I told him I might.
Yeah.
I very well might. I gotta see because Emily's coming to. Actually, I can't. Emily's got a train to Rochester on the 4th that I got to pick up on. It's kind of a bummer, but I'm picking her somehow. Listen to this. We got golf at 7 a.m. on the 4th. Her train gets there at 2.
Yeah.
Somehow after 7, probably done around noon, going to juniors. I gotta stay sober-ish to go get her. I get a ride from the train station or something. It's gonna be a tough one.
Someone was calling, and that's why I sent us to break, because the phone was ringing so I could answer it. And as soon as we went to break, the phone stopped ringing.
Oh, probably because they thought we were going to break.
Well, yeah, but call during breaks.
Yeah.
I can't answer the phone when I'm talking.
Idiots. No, I'm kidding. There's probably someone listening.
Yeah. But yeah, if you were calling, call back.
Call back, please.
We still have another break we have to take after this.
All right. I gotcha. Like before the wrap-up one?
No, we have just one last break.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to make it shorter.
Okay. Love that. Yeah, this is like when I would do my show and I just skip all of them. I know you have to, literally.
Yeah,
at this point.
We got to pay the bills.
Yeah. But I love
this isn't like
this isn't college.
Yeah, this isn't WNYO where it didn't matter when we took a commercial.
2 hours without commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, What a tremendous time.
Oh God.
That's how you learn the good. That's how you learn good radio qualities.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're around tonight.
No, it can't be. I mean,
Jim says sponsors are important. Yes, they are.
Thanks,
but yeah, I'm going over to Ed and Regis tonight. Zach from Oswego's coming in. We're doing it up tonight. We're tying one on.
I got to golf tomorrow morning at 7 in Rochester. That'd be tough. Basically, stay up until 1 or 2 tonight. Wake up at 4:30 and drive home. Probably can't. If we gotta talk more, we gotta just talk more. We can't. I can't be getting this invite.
Well, I didn't know about it until today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
just
when.
Bad time. I also should have just asked because I knew you do things for the 4th. I should have just said, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
Because Emily, at one point, she was like, "Yeah, you got to find plans in Rochester or somewhere else. We're going to Maine still." Like her one friend bailed on it, but she's like, "We'll just go. We'll just go see her." And I was like, "I'm not going to Maine."
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "I got to make plans." I was just straight. I'm like, "Junior, we're doing something."
Oh yeah, you should have texted me. Oh. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, right here on the Score 1260. Let's go over to the phone lines. We've got Bill, the FedEx guy, calling in. Bill, how are we doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I saw you texted me earlier about a coach story you had, so I'm wondering if that's what you were calling in to tell.
That and a couple other things I wanted to touch on about stuff you talked with Manchild about, but on the coach thing, I'm a 50-year-old dude.
Mm-hmm.
I still deliver packages on occasion to my high school football coach.
Love that.
I still can't call him anything but coach.
It's coach, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, coach, how's it going?
Yeah.
I'm a 50-year-old man. I shouldn't have to do that.
I see I see one of my Little League coaches at an establishment quite regularly, and I still call him coach.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other things I wanted to hit. Remember when you were talking about the Terry Francona ejection? Where he was talking about our rear end is in the jackpot.
Oh, Terry Collins.
What that meant?
Terry Collins.
Terry Collins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, saying my ass is in the jackpot means absolutely nothing. Bill, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
What that actually meant was that the league was coming down on them.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's what, the league was like, listen, these two teams are getting out of hand. If you let this go on, you're going to get it.
That makes sense. It's just one of those things when he first said it. Have you ever seen that clip, Josh?
No.
Terry Collins getting ejected managing the Mets? Yeah, it's so funny. I'll show you the clip later. Okay. It's very funny. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Bill.
One other thing, just because you're a baseball guy and you guys had all that talk about plaques and stuff like that with, the Hard Knocks thing and the diner from the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you realize that Willie Stargell, my favorite all-time baseball player, had plaques in 3 different ballparks because he hit the longest home runs in the history of the ballpark?
That doesn't surprise me. Pop's had some pop. That's for damn sure.
And I read a story about it, and I saw what might be the greatest quote ever about a baseball player.
What was it?
Don Sutton once said of Willie Stargell, he doesn't just hit pitchers, he takes their dignity.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's an all-timer to be sure. Well, Bill, thanks for calling in. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a safe 4th of July, all right?
You too.
Thanks, Bill.
There he is, Bill, the FedEx guy, regular caller in the Outside the Box Score. Love Bill. We were talking about managerial ejections on the Man-Child show this
That's
week.
an all-time. Of course, Lasorda.
Yeah,
Be up there.
it was sort of, but I threw out the Terry Collins one. Lloyd McClendon picking up first base and taking it into the clubhouse with him. That's a classic. But yeah, we were just talking about those the other day, and not even just managers, just all-time ejections. Because the first one that came to mind for me was the George Brett Pine Tar game.
Oh yeah,
where no man has ever been more furious than George Brett was at that umpire. Mm-hmm. He wanted to kill him.
Oh yeah.
So that's one for me that I think is absolute all-time ejection. We got to take one more time out. Still got to pay the bills here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, wrapping things up after this on the Score 1260. No, yeah, Bill listens to the Man-Child show too.
Yeah. So Bill, the FedEx guy, not to be confused with, of course,
Jamie the FedEx guy.
Yes.
Oh, who do we have here?
Lou Piniella was another one.
Outside the Box Score, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Bernie, I'll throw you on hold, all right?
Now we're racking them up.
You gotta. I'm gonna make this break really quick.
Lou Piniella, which one was his? That's my dad just texted.
Yeah, Lou Piniella had some great ones.
Yeah. Lasorda's the one I'm thinking of, the Cubs guy, right? Who came in on kicked the dirt all the time, or is that Piniella?
Well, no, that's Lou Piniella.
Okay.
Yeah, Lasorda was the Dodgers.
What am I talking about? Was he never a Cubby?
No, Lasorda. Yeah, Lou Piniella managed the Cubs. Yeah.
Okay, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's Lou Piniella.
Thanks, Pops.
Yeah, Lasorda had some good ones too, but Piniella, the classic is Earl Weaver, the manager for the Orioles back in the 70s.
Okay.
Went nuts. He used to go crazy. Oh. VP Supply is one of the country's largest plumbing, lighting, kitchen, bath, HVAC, and electrical distributors with 15 locations across upstate New York and Pennsylvania. VP is looking for innovative, enthusiastic, and ambitious team players in Syracuse. Unleash your potential with VP Supply. Find out more at vpsupply.com/careers. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, right here on the Score 1260. One more quick phone call. We've got Bernie from Blue Mountain Lake. Bernie, what's going on?
Hey, I'm listening to your manager blow-up stories.
Mm-hmm.
This was spring training, L.A. Dodgers, the year that they got Darryl Strawberry from the Mets.
Mm. Oh, okay, yeah, in the 90s.
Probably, yeah, you can find it on YouTube. But they're live at the training facility, and the announcer says to Tommy Lasorda, "Is it true you called Darryl Strawberry a dog?" And Lasorda said, "No, a dog is loyal and runs hard after a ball." And I went out of my mind.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you can get it on YouTube.
I'll have to find that clip. That's very funny.
Check it out.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie. Anything else?
Happy 4th of July, guys.
Yeah, happy 4th. Have a safe holiday weekend, Bernie. Thanks for calling in.
You too. You too. Thank you.
All right, there he is, Bernie from Blue Mountain Lake. That's great. A dog is loyal and runs hard after a ball.
I don't know where it was going at first, but
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure either. And because that's oh, this guy's a dog. The expression among people our age. He's got that dog in him. That's a pretty common expression, but
what a line.
That's great. That's absolutely great. I'm gonna miss manager freakouts because once we get the robotic strike zone, they're just not gonna happen much anymore.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think someone's gonna try and take out AI? That they're coming at them? I don't know. David Bell gets tossed more than pretty much, and Boone for that matter, on balls and strikes.
Yeah,
pretty high. I think they'll just come after the robots.
Yeah, they might.
Me.
They
Baseball's told them to call these balls.
Yep,
I hate it.
This is Manfred.
Oh,
Manfred's coming
Come
after
down
us.
Here, Rob.
Rob,
I know you're there.
Robbie,
what are you doing, Robbie?
what are you doing? I don't think they're gonna happen nearly as much anymore, and I'm gonna miss them. I think manager ejections are some of the most fun things in baseball. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Outside the Box Score. Everyone have a safe and responsible holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July to everybody. We will be back next week, same time, same channel. Josh, thank you for coming on once again. Same time, same channel, 11 a.m. next Saturday, right here on the Score 1260. Peace.
Listen on radio,